Hello everybody. It's Elf-1 here. I'm going to be doing another run through the dungeon. I recently had a request. Somebody wanted to try and run me to try to run an elf, and since I've played some elves in the past, I figured I would go ahead and go one further and see how feasible it is. Personally, I don't find elves to be a particularly easy race to get going. They have decent aptitudes, which is nice, but they don't have any awesome bonus skills that make them particularly easy to play or unique or anything like, say, the Spriggan or the Naga or whatever. Still, let's see what my goal is going to be. That I'm going to give myself 5 lives, and my goal is going to be to hit dungeon floor 8 plus find the ecumenical temple, maybe begin making some inroads into the Lair. Now, deep elves are the way to go if you want to try and do conjuration wizards with an elf, and I really think wizards are easy survivability, so if at my first few attempts aren't working, I'll probably just switch to that. But for now, let's go high elf, and I'm going to say fighter. I've considered potentially starting as a conjurer or wizard and then switching to doing fighter afterwards. That way I can get some good utility and disable spells before I start investing in fighting. But let's begin by just doing a very straight up fighter build, because you're going to get the +4 to strength and all, and that's kind of helpful, or +5 to strength, and it's helpful. First things first, disable all skills, then choose the ones you actually want. Have I done it right? There we go. Yeah. Let's go with, I guess short blades is the skill I have the most of right now, and I can cross train that with long blades later. So we'll go that way. And some skill in fighting just to keep my HP growing. Alrighty, off we go. Now, key things are going to be survival, obviously, and you guys already know my attitude for the first floor, where it doesn't really matter if you die, you've only just started the game anyway, so I'm very careless with it. Okay, this has been a lucky run because I've got Okuwaru on the floor 1. Now, Okuwaru is a god I generally don't think worth worshipping. If you want to do solid melee, then why aren't you worshipping Trog? Berserk is so much cooler. If you want to do a mix of melee and magic, okay, he's reasonable, but why not focus on a magical god who can amplify your powers? And if you want to go... I'm going to pick up the spear for throwing later. Yeah, and if you want to go with neither of the above, then yeah. However, Okuwaru does have one real nice advantage, which is he'll give you armor, as well as weapons, as well as throwable weapons like stones and arrows and bows that are highly enchanted, whereas Trog only gives you weapons. Since I'm an elf and have all armor capability, and I'm planning to go melee with this particular run, there's really no reason not to worship Okuwaru, except that he doesn't do anything special. This may actually bias me towards not doing too much cross training into magic later on, because if I can get my fighting prayer skills up early, then I won't need too many extra disables. Hopefully. At any rate, magic at this point is kind of not even worth mentioning, because I would need a book before I can even consider going down that road. Ouch. Back up. Wait in the shadow for him to come near. There we go. Now, that's the problem. If I had gone towards him, then I would have been closer to being in range of this hobgoblin. So I prefer to retreat to what I know first. Because I already have 3 of this scroll, and on the first floor, it's almost certainly going to be remove cursor identify, so let's just try to identify early on. Yep. And a bonus ring of protection will boost my AC a lot, so that's nice. And get my hunger taken care of. Kill the rat. Okay, successful first floor. We've leveled up once. It's all good. Oh, this is just nasty. Poisonous. That mite is poisonous. Most likely I could go up to it and kill it. But if it manages to poison me and knock me down to half health before I kill it, I will have no escape route. So I'm just gonna, choose a different way to initiate that floor and hope for a little bit more luck. Yeah, see, a gecko can't poison me. That's a lot better of a start. And I can eat it, so there we go. I should actually collect these throwable weapons. I'm used to playing classes that have a little bit more going for them in the early game, so they're not as dependent on making the most out of every single thing they find. It's a bad habit, I admit. I'm just checking what my items are. I'm not going to be able to run away from her. I mean, it's possible I can get away, but it's just not likely. So I should plan to fight Jessica. She's pretty weak anyway, so it's not like I have to run. So, but before I fight, I'm just checking to make sure I don't have anything good that I've forgotten about. I have a couple spears. I think I'll chuck a spear at her and let her come to me. Nope. And when in doubt, punch it. And I have to remember to keep on sacrificing corpses, because my god accepts blood sacrifice. Mwahahaha. Okay, I'm gonna check to see what armors I've located but not put on. Leather versus a robe. Am I using a robe? No, I'm using scale mail. Good. So let me explain armors real quick for those of you who are newer at the game. Armors, you can basically focus on just one or two basic properties: the evasion modifier and the armor rating. If you are a character who likes using heavy armors and does not mind the hit to your spellcasting that it comes because of that, then focus on evasion modifier. You want this to be you want the armor rating to be as positive as possible, and that almost always comes with a negative to evasion. Notice it also says it's +0. +1 will add 1 to the armor rating. So if the armor rating is 10 and it's a +3, that's +13. The highest the plus can go is equal to the armor rating, so maximally enchanted to +5. Evasion modifier does exactly what it sounds like, and all of their various pieces of armor are added up and then multiplied by some factor to give the AC. Boosting the armor skill does a few things. Firstly, it reduces the penalty to your to hit that comes from having armor that would make you otherwise clumsy. Like, it doesn't happen too often, but sometimes you'll notice that the armor you run is too heavy. Secondly, it reduces the spellcasting penalty that you incur from wearing armor. So that's how it's possible for a caster to wear, dragon armor and still be able to cast some lower level spells. It's also why even a very much melee character who needs to wear serious armor can sometimes get level 1 and 2 spells and level 3 spells in. So one thing that's important to note is that the dodging skill is never trained by wearing any armor which has a negative to evade, because those are considered heavy. I think maybe there's one special exception to that rule, some kind of steam dragon armor, but basically, yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. Whereas wearing leather armor or animal skin, which has no negative to evasion. Actually, no, I don't have anything to sling with. I'm not intending to train my stone throwing or anything, but I'm very scared of getting poisoned, not knowing how to heal, and dying, so let's not let that happen to me. Oh, this is a beautiful sling. I now have the capability of turning projectiles into ice projectiles. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, so to train armor skill, you gotta make sure that you're wearing some form of leather or up armor, whereas to train evasion, all of the different robes basically are your major options. The heavier the armor you wear, the more points, or the more actively it will train the armor skill. This is all the old system. In the new system, because you can do manual training, a lot of this loses its relevance. I mean, who cares whether I wear it or not, as long as I can level the skill. But at the very least, to hit level 1, you need to make sure that you wear the right type. It's a pity I wasn't using a Spriggan or somebody with... Actually, what are my throwing aptitudes and my sling aptitudes? Yeah, -2. I can't main that. But there are some races whose primary skill comes with throwing stones and throwing stuffs in general. It's a pity I'm not playing one of them. I already have 2 rune slings and several stones. Okay, I already have some piety. Now, I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure that you need to train invocations to use Okuwaru's spells reliably. So, I'm gonna have to make sure I train my invocations somehow. Actually, wouldn't you know it, now's a great time because I'm about to get charged by a lot of orcs. Again, never fighting more than 1 at a time if I can avoid it. This is what Okuwaru's thing does. It gives you +5 to any combat related ability, which basically turns you from an amateur to a master if you use his first level ability. And just looking, yes, that did train invocations. I'm going to need to train invocations to get that spell reliable. Under the old system, that would... Okie dokie. I'm gonna risk fighting this guy because I don't think that he can take me out while I have combat +5 values on. There we go. That could have ended badly for me. I could and if I had wanted to run... The only problem is if I had really wanted to run from Sigmund, I'm pretty deep in here. It would have been very challenging to run from him. It would have been possible, but... yeah, that could very well have been nasty for me. Go figure. It's not one thing, it's not that. I'm gonna drink each of these. I doubt he can deal 18 points of damage before I find a potion of healing. Brilliance. Potion of might. Potion of agility. Potion of mutation. Wow. I may very well die for that decision of mine. I'm going to use combat prowess and attack him, and just hope that I can wait out the fight now. There we go. It's a real pity that they don't have any race that lets they don't have any class that lets you start with Okuwaru. It seems to me like he's a really good balancing early game god. And unlike certain other gods where their late game abilities are almost game breaking, Okuwarus are pretty meh in my opinion. They're not anything to be like, oh wow, all of a sudden I'm a master. I mean, he doesn't like reduce the mana cost of your top level abilities and vastly decrease your miscast ratio or anything. So I've been mutated to get teleportitis, which means, as you can see, I'm randomly teleporting every now and then, and that's considered one of the worst mutations in the game for obvious reasons. At any time, you can find yourself in the worst pickle of all. I just am going to deal with it and pray to God that I get a potion of cure mutation sooner rather than later. I actually once played a game where I didn't get one for the entire game. Oh, come on! All those corpses I want to burn, and now I can't because I got randomly teleported away. I'm just lucky I didn't, finish a fight, get weak, and then get teleported into a dangerous scenario. Okay, that's the second time it's happened. I really need those javelins back. I'm gonna start insta-quaffing every unidentified potion I get, because pretty much, short of a potion of degeneration reducing my max stats, there's really not a whole lot worse that I can get out of a potion than teleportitis. I mean, I guess I could have been mutated that I can't eat anymore. That would have sucked too. Okay, there we go. I think that's everything I needed from this group. Off we go. My short blade skill is up to 5. Armor is growing nicely. Notice that my AC is up to 12 even though I haven't found any new pieces of armor. And that's because I have the armor class. And why am I not studying shields? Yeah. I want to get my invocations up so that this goes from being, oh, actually it's already at excellent. That's pretty much where I want it to be. Actually, I think I will turn off invocations after it hits like level 2. Because the next time I get an Okuwaru ability, it's when I have max piety. And I fully expect to die before I get that far. Man, I really wish I had been playing a sling user. The sheer number of stones I found. Now, in general, you do not want to use ranged weapons against slimes, because they eat the ranged weapons. But slimes do not eat rocks, so I get some freebie hits before he comes to melee range against me. And I'll hit him on his way out, too. There we go. I should probably hotkey that somehow. Now, imps are annoying and all, but they're also weak against ice, so yeah, but he's not getting enough damage taken, so I'll use my elven blade. Is this the -1 elf sword? 0 -1? I've never started the game with a negative weapon before. That's new. Damn thing. For some reason I just have no accuracy. And teleportitis means I'm going. Okay. At this point I'm going to give up on killing the imp and just leave this floor. I really want to kill him obviously, but what can you do? But I am going to make sure he blinks away from me so that he doesn't follow me down. And with any luck I'll find a glowing elven cloak to put on instead. Hurrah. So notice that I'm attempting to use my heroism ability, because otherwise I don't have a shot at fighting 3v1. Heroism is not as good as Berserk, because Berserk increases the number of actions per turns you can take, as well as your movement speed. But unlike Berserk, which one requires a lot of food, and second can potentially leave you exhausted and slowed after the effect is done, Heroism does not give you any real negative recovery effects. So it's much safer to spam it rather than it is to spam Berserk. Okay, there's the Ecumenical Temple. So at this point, my run has already hit my my early game success mark. Oh yay, potions to test. Well, that sucks. No cure of my mutations yet. But that's alright, because I'm still alive. Haha. Wonder what this is. Animate skeleton. That actually wouldn't be a half bad ability, even for a melee character, just so that I can, put skeletons between me and my enemies. Let's pick up the arrows too. I don't particularly plan to necessarily go bow and arrow later on, but you know, I'm very much playing as a jack of all trades, and the beauty of having Okuwaru as a god is I can always give myself +5 to archery with my ability, so that I can, you know, in a pinch become a decent archer. Ah, crap. Using my... Yeah, I'm just gonna use a potion of wounds. And boost strength yet again. I'm not sure what stat is most important to boost for playing an elf in general, or playing an elven bladesman in specific. So I'm just taking strength because that's what they started me off with as being the biggest. If anybody knows how the dexterity versus strength thing breaks down in this game, do let me know. Crap. See, I don't want to go upstairs immediately, because if I do, I might accidentally come down on that closer staircase. But I also don't want to stand and fight them all necessarily. I'm prepared to fight them all if necessary, so I'm gonna walk towards the staircase, and if they don't notice me, I'll escape. Slime didn't notice me, so I can escape without him following me, so that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, and I can't fight all of these. I actually want to wait one turn, and you'll see why. So now the 2 weaklings will follow me out, the hard ones will stay behind, and I'll be able to kill at least one of these guys on the floor above. There we go. Pick off the little sick ones. So where's the last staircase that I haven't gone down? It's gotta be somewhere here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Much safer. I don't mind kiting this guy forever, but I would like to do it when there's no risk of running into anything upstairs. Also, I just want to emphasize once more, this is the beauty of their new experience system. I'm able to use these slings this much without dumping too much experience in them. And once it hits level 1, I'll be able to turn it off entirely, so 0 experience will go, but I can freely use it. Admittedly, I won't be leveling up my sling usage, so, you know, it'll be underpowered, but who cares? I have no intention of becoming a sling user. Take him upstairs and beat him to death. I'm starting to think that the orcish mines may be on this floor, just given the sheer number of orcs we've seen. It's not very early for the orcish mines, but it's a little bit on the early side. Because orcish mines can be as low as floor 8. I think the earliest they can be is actually floor 4 though, so it's not like too early. Oh man, no bodies. Now, one of those orcs came upstairs. I teleported away. There he is. That teleportitis is going to be the death of me, you mark my words. Oh, remember how I was saying the only other potion that could be a serious problem would be the potion of degeneration? Ta-da! There we go. And I don't want to waste a potion of... I don't even think a potion of healing would help. You need restore abilities. I'm going to... What did I last leave down here? I'm going to take my chances on coming back down. I can fight the ogre. I just don't want to fight the ogre and die, that's all. Let's throw some javelins at him and see if it softens him up at all. That's nice. Yeah, okay, we'll fight him. We'll turn on hero to make it even easier. Notice that hero is boosting my shields as well as my armor. So my AC probably has shot up. Yeah, it's 16 right now because I have it all that on. And the way that AC works is similar to D&D in that, you know, it reduces the enemy's ability to hit you. But different from D&D is it also guarantees a certain minimum amount of guaranteed damage reduction. It's not like a flat amount of HP. I think it's like a small percentage based on how high your AC goes. But it definitely helps with a melee fighter that, you know, he gets a lot more survivability because of this. Alrighty, and as this floor begins to get a bit more cleared out, I get to be a little bit more aggressive. Levitation, not at all what I need. Levitation prevents you from picking up items if you have no way of controlling your flight. I'm hearing a slime going crazy, so I'm gonna head in the direction I last left a slime. And, wouldn't you know it, the hatchback squad shows up. Let's take 2 of these guys upstairs with me. Random teleport for the suck. Imps. You know what? To hell with it. I'm gonna actually just unload because I'm bored. Oh wow, it actually killed him. I'm impressed. Yeah, enchanted slings are way more valuable than enchanted ammo, in my opinion, because the enchanted sling applies the effect to all projectiles fired. That giant cockroach or whatever, Goliath beetle, is going to be too hard to take on head to head without like you seriously enchanting myself up. So I'm just going to go down a different staircase and, you know, at least make sure I kite him a little bit before I attack him. I'm missing one of my javelins. Probably got mulched when I threw it. Just like that one did. Now, not going to throw it at the slime because slimes will eat thrown objects. They can't do anything about that though. Damn thing got away. Gotcha. Yeah, it's almost irritating when Crawl gives you a lot of items that would have been very useful in a different run. If I had been doing a kobold character or a Spriggan even, the sheer number of awesome sling-related abilities I've had, you know, would have been very phenomenal to work with. Alright, 10 scrolls of Identify. I'm just going to go down and read some of these scrolls now and just see what happens. Okay, so once again, when they give you a menu after you use a scroll, it's one of 3 things. Scroll of Enchant Armor, Scroll of Recharge Wand, or Scroll of Identify. I already have the Identifies. I have no wands to test this on, so let's just test it on the armors. I'll use it on the Cloak of Preservation, because that's already a valuable item. Okay, it doesn't take, so that means it must be a Scroll of Recharging. And look, they even label that you've already attempted to use it on one, so you know it's the other. One of these is probably a curse scroll for an item I don't have, and the other is probably a remove curse, and since there's a lot of these, I'm guessing that's the remove curse, so let's attempt to use it. Yep. Okay, and let's drop the curse scrolls because I'm not too worried about that, and random uselessness. Actually, let's read random uselessness because I need to build up my spellcasting, and you only gain spellcasting early game by reading a lot of stuff, scrolls in particular. Oh Christ, I'm gonna pick up my sword and use my ability, Heroism, and just go nuts. Heal. And how am I gonna escape from here as fast as possible? Because I got almost no good hits in there. I can teleport, but it will take 4 turns to kick in. That's my best bet. I should have played that a little slower. There we go. Oh yay, something to kill. This teleportitis is going to be the death of me. You saw how it very nearly killed me there by throwing me into the middle of a fight with an invisible creature. Doesn't help that my to hit is so pathetic and I'm using a dagger that has a negative damage. Actually, that's a good point. There's got to be a better weapon in this bloody dungeon. It's orcish though. Nevertheless, it's probably worth going back for. I'm going to go get that glowing orcish sword if I get out of this little scrape alive. This bloody thing. I think I'll repeat the same successful thing that I attempted last time, where I repeatedly fired frozen rocks at it. Yay! For spamming rocks. Why is my auto pickup off? Must have seen something go invisible. Yeah, see, auto-explore really gets screwed with when you have this teleportitis, because you'll randomly disappear and reappear elsewhere. Now, if something's glowing, that means it's enchanted, and enchantments are usually positive, especially early on in the game. I have no need of a cursed spear that can't easily be thrown. Alright, we're wielding the orcish weapon that we don't know. Also, as your skill with blades goes up, or skill with any weapon class I should say goes up, what happens is you become more and more adept at recognizing what the properties of the current weapon you're wielding are. So watch, after just a... oh god, just my luck. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go upstairs and run away from it. If I'm slower than a beetle, I suck. There we go. Now I should be able to kite it to my heart's content. How many rocks do I have left? 50 is plenty. But it's not taking any damage from this. You know what? The hell with the beetle. I'm not chipping it. I don't know why. And I'm not going to deal with it. I don't need that 10 points of experience that I'm potentially missing. I'm just going downstairs. Let somebody else deal with it. Useless potion. Notice that I used my self buff. That way, if I happen to have a crappy -1 orcish sword, I'll still be doing a decent amount of damage, and more importantly, I might be able to kill him before he gets away. Well, this sword is no better than my elven sword, and just because mine's elven, it's better for an elf, so let's drop the piece of crap dwarven orc sword. Kill some zombies instead. It is hilarious. It's a dart trap, which means some poor soul stumbled on here and died and left behind all this cool stuff. I will take the spear. Actually, I'll take all this stuff. I don't know what the staff is for. And I don't really care because I'm not a mage, but, you know, if I decide to go mage later on, it'll be nice to know what staffs exist in the dungeon for my usage. And I think there was another staff somewhere on this floor. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice one. Look what happened to my mana. It went to 26. That's useful no matter what kind of mage you are. But, you know, I just realized, even if I learn some magic, I'm not going to carry around a staff because I'm going to be primarily a swordsman. So let's leave those behind. Thank you so much, game, for giving me 3 items that are useless to my current build. Okay. 6th floor down. And now the game gets hard by throwing real wizards at us. Remember, with these guys, line of sight matters. so be sure to obstruct their line of sight as much as possible, and fight one-on-one. Should go without saying. Let's take the Orcish Dagger. I'm very intent on getting something that has multiple positives, or at the very least is 0-0. That looks like a very heavy zombie. An ogre zombie, yeah. Let's back away politely. I mean, there's no need getting in a fight so far away from the stairs that I can easily have right by the stairs. -1/+1. Game is not in the mood. Notice that I actually did take the time to switch to a good weapon. Actually, let me stand on the staircase. There we go. Mercifully, I have a lot of food, so starvation at this point is not a real concern, considering I can also eat chunks. Stupid ogre zombie. My natural AC is up to 15. Oh fuck. So this is what happens with teleportitis, and this is why teleportitis is the most dangerous mutation in the game. I would never have walked into a situation like this on my own. What I'm gonna do is throw a fog up, then I'm gonna teleport. And hopefully between blocking the line of sight, it'll stall them just long enough for me to continue exploring the floor. Now, the sad part is, I need to finish exploring this floor. I can't just skip this floor on account of that mess. What I'm gonna do, therefore, is approach the last known area where there were so many of them, and do my best to, like, thin their numbers. I anticipate the teleportitis to kick in soon enough and send me elsewhere. It'd be really nice if I could kill Pike Hell before that, and he's coming to me, so I'm gonna use my Okuwaro ability and just go one-on-one and pray for the best. Because if I can kill him, all his servants will serve me. Yes! Now all his servants serve me. This floor just became a whole lot safer. And let's pick up the iguana flesh. What? Oh fuck! The imp just picked up Pike Hell's weapon. This imp just went from harmless to extremely dangerous. I'm gonna potentially waste a blink scroll to get away from him. Yeah, it was a waste because he just flashed. That scenario, he could have killed me in one more turn if I had gotten unlucky. If I had been even slightly, I mean, I would say the odds were, 3 to 7. There was a 3 in 10 chance that I would have died there if I didn't blink. So, I guess it was still worth it. I'm used to playing classes that have, more options. Oh, come on, man. Notice that I'm standing here so I can fight the scorpion while he's above the trap. Every turn there's a chance that the blade trap hits him and kills him for me. Actually, there's deep water here, so I suck too. I'm gonna let the scorpion drown in the water and the other one get hit on the axe trap. And I have 1 potion of healing I can use, so this is not the worst scenario in the world for me. Unfortunately, it does mean that I had to let whatchamacallit get away, the Sky Beast get away. Fucking hate scorpions. We're gonna let the freed slave get a few shots in at him too, hopefully. The shield prevents you from hitting the scorpion. It looks like my shield is obstructing my attack. I need to keep leveling it up. Scorpions have a very serious kind of poison. There's different degrees of poisonousness, and they're pretty high up. Oh, come on, not a single corpse? Thank you. Now, I want again to point out, my sling's ability is locked at 1. All that experience is 48% of it is going to my primary skill, which is blades, and 24 and 24 to the armor and shields, which I've been trying to buff as much as I can for survival's sake. But because I need some form of range ability, I've been making extensive use of it. I'm actually going to use Berserk Rage here, because otherwise this shadow is going to end me. There we go. I don't know why there's so many complicated creatures here. It's almost like they're guarding something. I hope it's the door to the lair. Turning on hero mode. But yeah, I actually personally prefer Okuwaru as a god to Trog for a couple reasons, but the biggest one is definitely the obvious one, which is Trog doesn't allow you to ever develop beyond being a melee brute, and Okuwaru does. -2, -2 longsword. Okay, you know what, guys? I'm gonna take back what I said about enchanted things generally being positive. They're generally not cursed. Still, that holds. But in this game alone, I have yet to find a single enchanted positive item. So, I'm starting to believe maybe that they patched that up or something in previous editions and made it a little bit less predictable. The Hungry Ghost, I have enough food to stave it off, and that's a wand. I'm going to move in the direction of the wand. Turning on my Might ability first. How do I end up in these situations? Seriously. Teleport? I'm going to activate teleport immediately. I'm going to position myself so that when he runs from me, he runs towards the corner. And notice how I retreated into the hallway so that even though he was invisible, he would be in a predictable location. Alrighty, I finally have my first wand. It looks like this game they saw fit to give me a whole lot of stones and not single. Oh, man. That guy can smite. I'm hoping this is one of many beam weapons that... Yes, it's a beam weapon. So, went through all of them and hit my intended target. Turning on hero. I don't want to waste any more charges than I already have. Going through to pick up all the corpses. And remember that scroll of recharging? Since I used 4 or 5 charges, usually it gives you back a sizable number of charges. So yeah. I mean, honestly, I probably should have saved. I probably should have held off until, you know, I had used at least 8 charges or more. But I don't want to find myself in combat and my Wand of Lightning doesn't fire the one turn I need it to. Yeah, let's zap this mother. I don't want to risk dying here. Yeah, he had a giant spiked club. Having a wand is an incredibly awesome amount of... It gives you just so much more utility. If you have like one nice blasting wand. Notice how liberally I make use of the thingy. Oh, interesting. I have 2 good mutations for the 1 bad one. Yeah, I make liberal use of my Okuwaru ability, Finesse or Might or whatever they call it. I basically use it like a cheaper version of Berserk. Because that's what it is, and yeah, the piety hit is minimal. Backing away to a hallway, I should be able to take all of these guys one-on-one, and I have my lightning wand if things get dicey, so let's do this thing. Now he can't, now the speedy little frog can't escape. See, that was teleportitis. I was just about to reap the rewards of having won a fight, and this happened. Hey, but at least I wasn't trying to regenerate health, and then that happened. That would suck even more. You know what? Notice how I'm shooting past him. Lightning has a special ability. It keeps bouncing, so it goes past him, hits the wall, bounce back, hit me, and hit him. And I didn't care because I just wanted to kill him faster. I don't have the food for this. Have corpses to sacrifice before they rot. How many times do I have to kill you, boy? Can I outrun a scorpion? Maybe. Well, so much for my theory that cold-blooded creatures might hate cold rocks. Keep that going. So, dungeon floor 7, I am experience level 8. Reload A. You know, runs like this sometimes make me feel like save scumming on floor 1 until I get an early god or something. Because this game has served me so much bad luck, and the only good luck it gave me was that I started the game with Okuwaru. And that one bit of good luck has managed to at least keep me in the running for a lot of the game. Now, admittedly, I did get to the Ecumenical Temple a few floors back, so it's possible I could have had decent might going for a while, but I needed at least one convenient break to make things work. Yeah, I just don't have the accuracy to kill this guy. Sling bullets are an excellent alternative to stones. Stones can be thrown by hand. Sling bullets do more damage when they're fired from slings, and have more accuracy when they're fired from slings than stones do. And they cannot actually be used as a hand weapon. I mean, if you try to throw them, they're treated as if you were throwing something which isn't throwable. Let's turn myself into a mighty hero. Okay, short blades is pretty high at this point. It's up to 9. That's good. Wow, how does he not see me? Willfully blind. The reason I'm preferring the ogre zombie to the phantom is the phantom can regenerate. The ogre zombie can't, So if I end up getting teleported away, all the damage will stay on one but not the other. And the bat I'm preferring because I'm more likely to be able to kill it, quite frankly. There you go, you bastard. Alright, finally, looks like I've mostly cleared this floor. Let's see what all these guys have been guarding. Orcish mines. I have no interest in dying, so let's not go there yet. I can fight these guys if it's just them. So let's bring the shadow upstairs and kill him. So I'm starting to realize something. I have very low accuracy in part because I have a shield and armor on, and both of those are hurting my accuracy. On the flip side, where that makes me suffer, I also have it also makes it much harder to hit. It makes it much harder for them to hit me. So I'm able to stand there and trade misses with them a lot longer without taking nearly as much damage as I would have if I was, say, a wizard. Because the same number of hits on a wizard might have ended me a lot sooner. This is why I love fighting on stairs. I guess I complained a bit too much about my luck this game. I mean, I also have had an ample stock of food so that the teleportitis didn't starve me to death. Not being able to butcher any corpses. You hit the ogre but do no damage. You hit the ogre but do no damage. The ogre hits you but does no damage. You block. Yeah, we're trading fails a lot. I'm going to turn on heroism to try and do a bit more damage, and then so as not to starve. So dodging is nice because you take no damage when you successfully dodge an attack. It also sucks because it makes you very bursty. I mean, prone to being bursted. You can die very easily by one critical attack that, you know, some having steady guaranteed damage reduction would prevent. Again, follow that technique of waiting just long enough to draw up a few of the creatures but not all of them. But it failed this time because teleportitis kicked in 3 times to guarantee that he gets away. I am very scared of the next floor. I have yet to see an entrance that seemed safe, and taking on Duvessa and Duvain simultaneously is kind of a scary ordeal, so I'm seriously considering just skipping the floor altogether, maybe coming back later. Fuck you, Joseph, I'll take you on. Joseph has been extraordinarily dangerous to many of my casters, but they don't have the armor that this guy does, so I'm gambling that I can take him out. Yeah, he's hitting me a lot and not doing any damage. I should now have enough sling bullets to last me till doomsday. That's a decent amount of time. Let's see if we can't fight this guy upstairs. And again, I'm heading towards staircase because I don't know how strong he is relative to me. So far he's done damage and I haven't. Now we're about even in. Teleportitis. God damn teleportitis. I tell you, whoever put that in the game hated the players. And this is where it's harmless. Imagine how much more dangerous it is in those later layers that I've been to, where, you know, anything can happen. I need to get rid of this somehow. Unfortunately, my options are very limited. Did he not see me? Well, he saw me. He saw me. Bring up one, but not the other. And preferably not the Orcish Warrior, because he's scary. And go to the other staircase. This is called stair dancing. Hopefully I'll come down at a different location that will draw them all this way. You know what? I will take on Duvessa. Put on my... Oh, she didn't follow me upstairs? Probably because of the whole Duvessa Duvane thingy. Well, that means they're not guarding the door downstairs anymore, so let's take these guys upstairs with me. Yeah, fuck it. I don't want to take them both on at the same time. It would be too much of a risk. No. I'm just really grateful that this hasn't happened when I've gone downstairs. It's not luck. I mean, it's because I never stayed downstairs for more than 8 turns in a row, but... yeah. And don't get me wrong, and it's also doing murder onto my food and my piety, because, you know, every 5 turns I'm walking an extra 20 steps and recasting Okuwaru's might. This has been a very infuriating run. I almost want to suicide so that I don't have to deal with this teleportitis any longer. Come on upstairs. Again, I take him upstairs not because I need to fight him up here, but because, well, if he decides that now's a good time for me to teleport, I may end up in a very bad place. See how it says it hits you but does no damage? That tells me he's adjacent to me, so I'm going to bring him upstairs now. He should be here with me. It hits you but does no damage. I get him to a linear hallway, and now I beat him up. I think I'm taking something like -5 to hit because of that, but, you know, it's still good enough. Identify every unidentified scroll I have right now. Because I have enough scrolls of identify that I can afford to. I don't like reading scrolls I only have 1 of, because even if I successfully identify it, what's the point? I don't have it to use anymore. So I'll hold off until I have, you know, 2 of it. Or, you know, if that's taking too long, I'll waste a scroll of identify on it. I say waste because I like saving scrolls of identify for new rings and the like. Oh, this is too perfect. They're all on a line. Nope, can't do it. Can do it. Now we'll go upstairs. They will follow. We'll have a fight in the safety of the upstairs. I don't need to heal. I'll take them on. Why am I not able to hit the broadside of a freaking barn? My goodness. I shouldn't have burned those corpses. I should have eaten them. I was not paying attention to my hunger status. Okay, but at the very least, it looks like this floor is finally beginning to get a little bit more clear. I'm hesitant to eat real food because if I can just get a kill, it won't be relevant. Always go for Duvan first. You can handle a Berserker much more easily than you can handle a Berserk Wizard who casts at double speed and double level. It's not actually a hard and fast rule. I mean, if you have a way of disabling him, you know, feel free to do whatever works, but... I still have heroism on? Okay, good. Oh, now you follow me upstairs. I'll eat an elf. Actually, that's elf? Good. I'm gonna take her sword. With any luck, it won't be a crappy sword. I didn't know she was an elf. And you've got a dagger, so I will take your dagger, and with any luck, it won't be a crappy dagger. Neither of them are branded, unfortunately, but whatever. I would rather use a short sword than a dagger. That's what I've been using. When did I get spellcasting ability? Anyway, these are all level 4 and up. I will be lucky if I even get level 2 or 3 spellcasting at the rate I'm going. +1, +0. Should probably passively turn on long blades as well. I'm gonna ignore the imp altogether and just walk with him attacking me. He's not doing any damage. If there's any interesting items that he might pick up, I'll be sure to pick them up before he does, but I'm not able to hit him, he's not able to hit me, that's fine. I'm more than likely to teleport by the time I actually deal him any damage anyway, and his experience at this point is pitiful. I am out of charges. Let's test my other ones while I still can. It's a Wand of Invisibility. Great. And Wand of Enslavement. Actually great. The thing I love about gnolls is by the time once you finally are strong enough to beat them, they're almost a non-issue. Now, a large number of gnolls throwing stuff at you, well, that's a completely different story. The reason I attacked him then is, and it worked, is because I had hero on. We're going to turn off invocations now. I'm guessing, yeah, it's at excellent, so that's as high as I need it. And with any luck... Yes! A longbow, and it's elven! Oh, thank God. Your shield significantly lowers your rate of fire. You know what? I'm going to take off the shield for now. Well, that's not smart either. So what I need to do is train bows at least to level 1, and then just let my ridiculously good aptitude carry itself. Do I have any arrows to begin with, actually? I got the 15 runed arrows and the 64 non-runed arrows, so yeah, okay, I have arrows. Oh god, I need to get away from this guy. Well, that was convenient. Where did I leave him? Perfect. It's not that I can't fight him, I just want to be at maximum range when I do. I got plenty of food. Come on, where are you, dude? Did I take off my shield yet? Take off the shield. Where did he come from? I could have sworn he wasn't here a second ago. Oh, taking off the shield must have taken a long time. Well, I'm faster than him, so let's just keep running. I thought I was faster than him, but not really. Alright, let's wield the sword then. Turning on heroism. getting very nervous. What can I do to make this easier? Potion of Might. There we go. Just don't have to. Where's that bow of mine? You know what I should do? From now on, wherever I find a arrow trap, I should try to disarm it and take the arrows for my own usage. Okay, that was actually really good. I now have bow skill. So here's what we're going to do. Readjust experience. Shields, off. I'm not going to use shields anymore. I shouldn't have wasted all the experience on it in the first place. It slowed down my game. It did keep me alive, so let's not knock it too hard, but it's a waste. Spellcasting, off. Until I have a spell that I want to train for, it's not worth training. Long blades, what blade am I currently using? I'm using the Elven short sword for the most part, this one. And let's drop the worthless stuff I've picked up on the way, all these other wasted swords. Okay. And yeah, so what kind of weapon is this? Is it considered a short sword or a long sword? It's considered a short blade. Okay, so the training short blades is fine. Long blades, notice the +4, so it's a total of +6, a very high aptitude, because this, when this goes up, this can go up faster. I'm not going to focus train it anymore. I'm going to leave it to take a small percentage of the experience. Long blades, I will leave on. Bows, 40 isn't high enough. Yeah, I'll turn off long blades till I have a long blade I want to use. So, 50, 25, 25. My bow experience should hit level 5 very quickly now. And wouldn't you know it, despite having found a record number of scrolls, not one that enchants weapons. Nuts. Let's go ahead and re-quiver. I'm going to quiver my crappy arrows, because I don't want to waste my good arrows on low priority easy targets like the rats. And to re-quiver, by the way, is capital Q. Because when you come against a gnoll that is weaker against fire, I think, and even if it's not, it's a higher level target, it's much nicer to have good weapons. Do I have anything that hits them all? No. So let's just let's start shooting. Okay, there we go. They're all dead. I may have been drained a little, but you know, that was fine. Flail, freezing, wardrobe. There were more of them? Oh, thank God I didn't fight them on their own turf. That's all I'm saying. I don't like what I just saw. Backing off, turning on might, and switching back to my bow so I can get off the preemptive shots. Holy crap, that was a very effective first shot. Oh, you know why? Because right now my bow skill just got +5, because might affects everything. This might ability is better than I give it credit for. Let's switch back to that unknown weapon of mine. Unless it's like -4 or more, I don't really care what I'm hitting with. It'll be good enough to kill freaking orcs. Notice that I'm pretty much one-shotting these guys at this point. But I'm not getting cocky because there's an orc warrior behind them, so... +2, +2, that's what I'm talking about. Never want to be caught switching weapons when you're actually in range of an attack. Turning back on heroism, don't want that to be off. What the hell are there so many orcs for? You'd think I was attacking the orcish mines, and that's not even on this floor. I don't have heal, so I'm going to take might and agility. I should be able to dodge, and I should have just kept attacking. I probably could have critted him to death. But nope, I had to switch it up, so I died. Successful run. I got to floor 9. I got very powerful and very far. I just shouldn't have kept fighting the damn orcs. That was stupid. I should have picked up after the 15th of them and then just kept retreating, because you know I was gradually going lower and lower on health. But ultimately that cursed perma-teleportation thing would have ended me. Alright, thanks for watching. This was a solid orc run, and I got 5,000 points. Alright, take care.